Hey y'all, welcome back to Uncle Rico's Storytime. This is episode 13. It's June 3rd, 2024. Somebody gave me some feedback and said they're confused as to when I record these, so I'm going to start saying the date. Also, you might be wondering why I'm talking with this horrible southern accent. It's because today we're going to talk about Trump. In every video I've ever seen, people talking about Trump, they talk with a southern accent. Been a rough day. Haven't ate nothing. I'm playing hockey here in about an hour, and I didn't get my nap. So I was like, hey, what am I going to do for the next hour? I'll drink and do a podcast. My dogs are locked up. To probably start crying, so I have to let them in. I made myself a vodka monster, and I had a monster in my fridge, and I'm like, it was open, and I'm thinking, does monster go bad? So I made my tasty drink up, and I tried a sip, and I'm like, that's really good. Shoot, dang, that's good. And I took another sip, and I'm like, yeah, that's like super concentrated monster. It got better when it was sitting there in the fridge. And then I realized that, yeah, there was a floaty in there. Kind of moss or fungus. So yeah, monster does go bad. Makes it better, but it does go bad. Just for the record, I poured it out. Made myself a new monster. This is a fresh one without the moss, without the fungus. Not as good. Probably won't get me as fucked up. Okay, I'm gonna stop with this horrible accent. That is true. I did drink a tainted monster though just now. Yeah, today we talk about Trump. Okay, let's get into it because I got hockey. So I thought I would tell a little bit about my background. I'm obviously a Trump supporter. I don't like the man. I think he's a horrible narcissist and a prick and a bully. I wouldn't let him watch my kid, but I want him running my country. Mainly because he's not a puppet. Everyone in politics, liberal, Democrat, they care about money. They care about keeping their seat. They don't give a shit about us. We argue over which crook is the better one. It's fucking stupid. Okay? But in a nutshell, if I can encompass the reason why I support Trump, I think it was Art of War. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Basically, if the media hates Trump and both Republicans and liberals hate him, then fuck. He's got to be my guy. Okay, so this Monster lemonade iced tea vodka. I believe it's called a John Daly. Used up all my ice cubes in the tainted drink. Alright. So, when I was a kid, I've always wanted to help people. The people that need help. Impoverished, that kind of thing. Neighborhoods. I wanted to enact change. I grew up in Wisconsin, which is very redneck conservative. All my buddies drove F-150s and chewed and drank Budweisers. We all pretended to be cowboys, even though none of us really have left town. But, salt of the earth kind of people. And right away, my thing was about experiences. I wanted experiences. I wanted to meet, people that weren't from my walk of life, and that led me to live in 12 different states. I've been friends with the bougie and influential. I've shared beers with homeless. And had friends get addicted to drugs and become thieves and fucking kill themselves. Been a bartender my whole life, a restaurant manager, so I've always lived pretty frugal. uh, I know, what it, basically a servant mentality. I get it. I think every single person should at least enlist in the military or serve at least 2 weeks in their life, because I think people are fucking incredibly rude to their servers. But don't let me get going on down that one. But yeah, grew up very smart, good looking kid. I was smart. I was witty. I wanted to get in politics right away as a kid, which is a strange thing for a kid to want to get into. When I was a sophomore in high school, I was accepted to go to a very prestigious summer camp out at Stanford University in California. For me, a kid from Wisconsin, it was a shell shock thing. Man, statues, people holding hands, gay people holding hands. I was like, oh my God. Fast forward to now, my sister's gay, love her, I'm so proud of her. I'm a proponent for gay rights. But here's something. When I was younger, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, my views, my political views, religion, immigration, gay marriage, all that stuff. My age now, I'm a polar opposite of my old views back then. I should delve into that later. But either way, accepted to go to this political science seminar out at Stanford. It was the same time there was a World Cup going on. I was one of two people. It was a redneck from Evansville who didn't go to it. I was like, fuck that. Bunch of people? Soccer? So I was out at Stanford, and when I go to classes, I need to understand the concepts and theories and stuff. I'm not book read. Like, I can't read from books. I'm not Abe Lincoln. The dude was the man, by the way. Never went to school, learned all of his shit through books. Also, he's in the Wrestling Hall of Fame. Look it up. His reach was unbelievable. Lanky. Honest Abe. He's the man. But I engage my teachers a lot. I had a teacher in high school who I loved, dearly. He made me, for a very hot minute, made me want to be a history teacher. Helped me a lot when my dad got sick and passed away, which I struggled with. He was just a very cool teacher. Fast forward, found out later that he was gay. Not that it matters, but yeah, solid dude. Love him. You know who you are, Mr. R. So I'm in this political science class. I'm not overwhelmed, but out of my element. And Jesus, we're gonna have to get going. There's no way. 10 minutes already. There's no way. Let's fucking wrap this shit up. Let's go. Let's get to Trump. So I'm in this political science class, and me and this teacher kind of get into it. Da 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 da. He's like, "See me after class." I'm like, fucking great. So he pulls me aside. He goes, "Hey, let's go to lunch." I go, "I gotta go to." He goes, "No." He's like, I didn't realize, but he's like, "I'm a fucking professor at Stanford. You come to lunch with me. You come to lunch." So he like, called somebody. He's like, okay. So we go to lunch, and we're sitting there talking. And he goes, "You really want to help people?" I go, "Yeah, I do." And he says, "Don't get into politics." And I'm thinking, man, what a dick to crush a fucking 16-year-old's dream like this, And I kind of shut off, and I wish I would have listened a little bit more to him. But I was mad. I was angry. My forehead was fucking hot between my ears. I'm like, ugh. So, but I kind of got the gist of it. The gist of his point was, if you want to make a change, you cannot do it as a politician. One thing that did stick with me, and it resonated later on, was he said, as soon as you get elected to a position in our government, you are worried about one. He said, period, point blank, you're a puppet. Okay? At the very least, you are accepting campaign funds. Like, our system is set up for it. He's like, you need to accept, like, get a certain amount of donations in order to be in the debate and blah, blah, blah. Like, he was explaining all this shit to me, but I wasn't listening. Till later on, it kind of made sense to me. But he said, if you really want to make change, don't get into politics. He said, the minute that you are elected into a position, you're a puppet. He said, at the very least, you are accepting campaign funds, and then at that point, that person that gave you those funds is like, hey man, I gave you a bunch of money. This is the time, da 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 da. So that always stood with me. Okay. Now, flash forward to this shit that we got going on. And I figured I could do like a time breakdown for everybody, because when you go online and try to find shit, I mean, most of us know that, the internet is scrubbed. Videos get to us that the puppeteers want us to get to. I won't get into too much of that, otherwise I'll end up getting Clintoned. That statement might right there might have just gotten this fucking this video taken down. But okay, so let's do this. Trumper. Let's get into it. So when I was a kid, I grew up. Didn't I take notes? I swear to God, I put some notes down on here. So when I grew up, very rednecky. These my notes? Yeah. Grew up, voted for Bush. I liked Clinton. I supported Obama, and then I read his book and saw that the fucker wish-washed, never made a decision, contradicted himself a bunch. So I backed off of Obama. Man, was I drunk when I took these notes? Possibly. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Oh, don't rip it. Don't rip it, babe. Oh, I fucking ripped it. Not bad. Okay, so that's what we'll do. So in 2016. Oh, hold on. Let's do this first. Okay. 2016. We find out it's actually before that, and I did this for a reason. We're going to go back 9 years from now. Okay? All right. 9 years ago. So before the 2016 election. These are facts. Hunter Biden sat on a board of education for a Ukrainian business called Burisma. And disclaimer, I'm just a fucking old son of a bitch. I don't specialize in anything. My memory's fucking bad, so a lot of the shit could be bad, but a lot of the details could be bad, but The points should not be in question. These are facts, though. All right. Hunter Biden sat on a company's board of directors or whatever, an energy company, and was paid $1 million a year for a few years. Okay, and also we had Trump Tower under surveillance at least 6 to 9 months before the election started, 2016. This comes into play later. Okay, so 2016 hits, and we go Trump versus Hillary Clinton. And collectively, we go, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? These are our fucking choices? I remember everybody going, oh my God, this is who we got? We got this fucking Trump and we got fucking Hillary? Like, holy shit. But I am, kind of an optimist, and I go, I'm not really an optimist. That was a lie. I'm trying to think of the positive side of each candidate. I'm like, okay, Trump's a businessman. He's not going to be controlled by fucking lobbyists and stuff. That'll be fucking refreshing. Hillary is a fucking no-nonsense fucking cutthroat. The Clintons will fucking kill you if you don't fucking see their way. Just kidding. So, again, having studied political science, I pay attention to this shit. I watch it, okay? But one thing that I've always learned in life is, why do people do things? Don't get fucking mad about, them doing it. Think, why did they do this? Here's a fun game. And I don't want to get too far off track, but I went into the DVA, my VA rep, his office. He runs on the bottom line. He runs world news, and just going in there and seeing world news, and then looking at what we have via CNN and Fox. You'd be fucking floored, okay? So, but either way, here's a fun game. When trivial shit like submarine blows up, not that. When you notice both liberal and Republican news channels running the same story, and it's not that important of a story like a submarine or whatever, they're fucking hiding something from you. They're passing bills and shit. But, off tangent. Okay, so we got Trump. We got Hillary. Everybody's pissed off, right? I like to watch both. I went to school for journalism, so I like to watch how both liberal and Republicans change the story, So I study shit. And one thing that got me was even the Republicans were, it seemed, reticent. They were a little reserved to get behind Trump. Okay? So I'm watching, even Fox, they're parading out all these actors and prominent entertainment people saying like, oh, he's never going to be president, I'll move to Canada if he's president. You don't realize it even if you're a Republican, but these are prominent figures, and they're all like, da 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 da. You never fucking see a musician stand up and go, Hillary Clinton will never be president. So there I thought, this is kind of weird. Then, my eye-opener, the Miami gay nightclub shooting. It happened, I was living with my sister at the time, I think, who's gay. So that was very on my radar. This happened right before the Republican National Convention. Okay? And Trump stood up there and he said, you know, this shit will never happen on my watch. I will support the LGBT, like he nailed all the letters. He was like, you know, da 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 da, gay rights. And when I watched this, I was like, holy shit. That's never been uttered at an RNC. Never at a Republican National Convention. That should have been all your major news outlets should have led. That's the headline. Trump endorses gay rights at RNC, you know, even if you fucking hate him. That's the lead. Since then, very hard to find that video. Weird. I had to search around for it, show it to my little sister. At that point, when even Fox wasn't screaming like, hey, you know, like, this guy's not as fucking bad. He's not, you know, the next coming of Hitler. At that point, I was like, okay, something's fucking wrong here. So I start watching it more closely. And the big thing seems to be the wall. And most political, both liberals and Republicans, they'll put up a fight, but ultimately, when it comes to spending, they're fucking in, okay? The wall would affect, is it 5? Cali, AZ, New Mexico, Texas. 4 states. So all 4 of those states should be like, okay, cool, let us get in on that, right? But they fucking went apeshit, okay? And human trafficking aspect wasn't talked about. And I'm not going to get into it that much because, again, there's things that you can say on the internet that'll fucking get you killed, you know? The musicians that apparently hung themselves. So the wall, they pinpointed immigration on it, but I think ultimately the stink that they have against Trump is the wall, and they know Trump is not on board for one of the powerful rich people's main hobby, whatever that might be. And by the way, I fucking believe it. We probably should go down this road, but I don't care. Okay? We all have our vices. Part of the attraction of the vice is because it's off limits. You know, when you're rich and powerful, there's not a lot of shit that's off limits. If you want to get a hooker and put cigarettes out on her and slap her around or whatever, you can. If that's your fucked up S&M shit, you can do it. These fucking people have to invent... I don't want to get into this. Let's not get into it. But I will tell you that I have worked at a very powerful place. Worked with a dude that was a very powerful dude. And was in a very... When I manage restaurants, I like to fucking sit in the corner and just kind of watch my staff. And I don't think he knew that I was watching this dude, this very powerful dude. Owned a bunch of radio stations and TV stations in a city. Very powerful dude. And I saw him looking at a member of my staff, and the look that he had was not, it wasn't like a sexual, like, it was like predatorial. It was evil. It made my fucking hair stand up on my neck. And this is when I was younger, so I didn't really understand it, but there's some fucked up shit out there that, you know, some people don't even realize is out there. So this leads me to my 2 conspiracy theories. 1, is people fail to realize, Trump, before he got into politics, he was a philanthropist, did a lot of, charity stuff out in New York, hobnobbed with the rich, friends with the Bushes, the Clintons, everybody. This is my one conspiracy theory that is kind of out there, is I believe they knew that Hillary was going to be running for president in 2016, and I believe Trump knew, and that little circle knew that Trump could get the nomination. And I think Trump, when he got the nomination, he goes, you know what, fuck it, I can win this whole thing and finally fix this fucked up thing. So I think, one, that was part of the blowback that he got, because he wasn't playing the game at that point, and I think everybody knew that he wasn't going to play the game. Two, I think it was a crackdown on human trafficking. That being said, the Miami coverage, his pronouncing his support for gay rights, was not covered at all by either channel. That was super, super eye-opening. Yeah. Fuck. Russia. We forgot about Russia. Okay, yeah. At the beginning of the election, 2 pieces of video come out. We've got proof of DNC corruption. They finagled the primaries in order to fuck over Bernie Sanders. Okay? And this leaked. Okay? And everybody went, whoa, what the fuck? This leaked from Russians. The fucking Russians leaked this stuff. And it didn't matter that the information was factual. This was factual information. Okay? The Democrats rigged the fucking primaries to screw over Bernie. I think that's what it was. Was that what it was? Either way, it was fucking factual shit, right? And I got into this argument with my little brother who's very liberal. I go, who fucking cares the source, dude? At the same time was the Access Hollywood thing about the grab your pussy thing. And that was the big thing that, Trump has done wrong. The grab your pussy, he made fun of the reporter that was handicapped. Maybe the tax system, but even then he was trying to simplify it. I think the bigger thing was like, he wanted everybody to get taxed, but like everybody would have to pay, So yeah, he cut deals to the rich people, but the rich people were still paying. During the Ronavirus, nobody fucking realizes this. And this may not be true because I didn't research this, but I know Amazon, their business headquarters is overseas, so they don't pay fucking taxes. So maybe they changed it. This was before the Rona shut down, but it's quite possibly that all the money they made through the fucking Rona shutdown, they didn't even pay taxes on. But either way, taxes is besides the point. We're talking about things that Trump fucked up on, and the George Floyd thing. But either way, we'll get to that. So Russia, yes. So, boom, he makes the grab your pussy thing. He's trying to show off and impress that Billy Bush guy, and he's talking about that reporter who's so hot. But he says the grab your pussy thing. And I'm having this conversation with my little brother, and I go, look, man, two disparaging videos both came out. One was a fucking locker room talk about a fucking narcissist fucking guy who cares about image, bullshitting a guy. And one was factual information about a DNC corruption. And we're all enraged about Russia, but who cares about Russia? If me and you are in an election, if I'm in an election with Joe Schmo, okay, and it's for a county comptroller, I don't care if it's a fucking foreign company that goes, whoa, Joe Schmo has a dead body in his yard or cheated on his wife, If Russia has proof of him cheating on his wife, you're gone. Thanks, Russia. But they said it was collusion and everything. They did this huge investigation. They found out ultimately the only real collusion was some guy saying with Obama, a couple of Russian embassy ambassadors got taken away. Their visas got taken away. Some guy's on, a phone tap saying, "Don't worry, we'll bring them back" or something. That was the only thing they found wrong. What they did find is that way back before the election, Trump was under illegal surveillance. The Obama administration was in violation of these FICA rules, Rico, I don't know, some fucking violation of these fucking stuff because they found out that they were making stuff up. They were dredging up reasons to fucking surveillance this guy. So one thing that is absolutely fucking mind-boggling is how are we not fucking outraged as Americans that our government was illegally spying on a political candidate 9 months before a fucking election, regardless of if you think Trump is the most evil guy in the world. And by the way, he already served 4 fucking years, and all he did was give away his salary and shit. If you think he's the evil, horrible guy, it still doesn't excuse us illegally spying on him. So we got that. But I'm getting off track. I'm getting fired up. I'm starting to lose my shit. I'm starting to get really tired. But that brings us on to, so 4 years, right? It was like this Russia thing that we're talking about. Excuse me, I still don't know if it's legal or illegal to do this on camera. Okay, 4 years. He, look it up. He did really good shit for, fuck, I'm gonna have to cleanse that spike in sound. What is that at 3:30? 3:30 minute, I'm coughing. That's not gonna be good for anyone. So, dude gets reelected and immediately tries to solve the violence problem in Chicago. He's holding cabinets of people to try to get this fucking problem solved. This is after he got election. Still no media coverage on this. He brings all of these college professors and deans from HBCUs in. Has a big convention on what he can do to help HBCUs. He makes permanent funding for this. Before, it was up to the president to make a yearly budget for money that went to HBCUs. It was up to the president's discretion. He got HBCUs moved to his executive branch so he could make funding for it permanent. Did good stuff for conservation also. Donated his monthly salary every month. President Trump is the only Trump since fucking who knows when, I forget who it was, to be worth less money than he was when he took office. So, and the fucking guy wants to do it again. When he lost that election, I said, there's no fucking way that this dude runs for election again. He's a glutton for punishment. But he did. That comes into play later. Okay, so I'm out of drink. I need more drink. Okay, we gotta finish up because I gotta go play hockey. We're starting to fucking cruise now. God damn. Shoot. I wonder if you guys can hear the nails, the dog nails outside the door. Okay, so now we're to Trump Biden, right? Early on in Trump's thing, he gets impeached for his questioning and trying to get some dude to look into the Ukrainian Biden thing. And it's right there. But they don't cover the story about the Biden involvement. They cover Trump's trying to get the Ukrainian guy to investigate. And he eventually gets impeached over it. So we get to Biden, Trump. Trump gets the insurrection. Before that was the Greg Floyd thing. Man, I was living with this dude, Jeff, who's racist, unfortunately. This white guy, he went through some shit, went through prison. But he's super right-wing. And we were talking about the police brutality thing. And I go, man, this is fucking weird. But I go, dude, this shit's going to blow up before the election. It's going to be either in Baltimore or Minneapolis. And I was in my room when he came knocking on my door. He's like, fuck, dude, you called it. And I saw the Greg Floyd video. I don't think you could fucking script a more outrageous video. The officer fucking looking, sneering into the camera. Oh, just... I don't know, man. I'm not saying it was staged at all. You know, the poor guy lost his life, but I don't know. Maybe they fucking promised him something and they were like, here, take this. Go in there and try to pass this bill off. Derek, you got fucking free reign, bro. Maybe some guy was like, you got free reign on that guy you don't like. I don't know. But either way, Trump fucked up when he said he should have, right? If he would have tweeted. The problem with fucking Trump is he fucking tweets. Somebody should have took his fucking Twitter away from him. The guy's a fucking narcissist. Guy can't have a Twitter. But if he would have, stood up and fucking supported Floyd at that moment, I think he would have won that election hands down. But I think he was like, I investigate. I don't even think he brought it up. But boom, election happens. That was shady as shit. Again, I study political science. I watched these elections. I was watching the way these states were reporting on the different news stations, and it was fucking weird. The bump that Michigan saw was weird. We all know these governments are fucking capable of this kind of conspiracy shit. There was one video I saw of election video of one dude like in the warehouse like grabbing people, like hurting them out and then taking bins out. I never saw that video. I don't know if the video was doctored or what, but either way, insurrection. It was a fucking tour. There was rioting for the Floyd thing the summer before, and they were burning police stations. I mean, there were murders. Lots of murders around the country. The BLM set the network for their terrorist shit. And they are a terrorist organization, by the way. If you look into it, they're not for profit. They're, it's a couple of ladies. One lady owns like 4 different houses. They're all huge fucking houses. They made a ton of money off of this. Not a fucking cent was done towards the equality towards minorities or police reform. So BLM riots the month before killed a bunch of people, devastated communities. But we're obsessed with a bunch of people taking a tour of a fucking building that houses crooks. I don't give a shit. There ain't no sanctity in the fucking Capitol building. Bunch of dudes were escorted around. Everybody was holding on, had a fucking cell phone. You know, one of the security guards got shot. One dude climbed through a window. Why we're outraged in this, I don't know. But again, bouncing red ball. The American public, we're fucking idiots. So if you disagree with this thing and want to overshadow it, you go, oh, Russia. And everybody goes, oh, fucking Russia. Oh, fucking Russia. And then years later, you go, well, you know, turns out Russia really wasn't a thing, but who cares? The guy's still evil. Same fucking thing here. You know, dude instilled a riot. You know, not really. He did everything. He did the same thing every fucking candidate that's lost a close election. You know, he was like, yeah, it got fucking stolen, da 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 da. You know, I think the video was him saying, you know, let's march down there peaceably in voice or something or whatever. Maybe he did say, you know, go down there and fucking voice your disapproval. I'd be okay with that. But, you know, I wish our government agencies, instead of going after all this cell phone footage and everything and finding, you know, a couple of people and throwing the book at them, they would have went after all this cell phone footage and went after the rioters. But so yeah, we're into the Trump-Biden thing, and you know, Biden won. Holy shit, I'm amazed that people still back this guy up, but then again, the way that our media is censored, it's pretty amazing. One thing that I was floored about when I was talking to liberals is that they didn't even know about like some of Biden's bad sound clips. When he was running against Trump the first time, he got into a confrontation with a warehouse guy and was like, let's go outside right now, fats. Yeah, I'm ready. Like, he had to be restrained. Like, visibly showed, like, fucking anger. Like, went after this guy. Like, holy shit, dude. A little unhinged, right? At one point, and then past stuff, which isn't that important, but they found out that he plagiarized a bunch of speeches. They found out that he was against segregation. He called it fucking jungles or something like that. He said, we don't need the jungle in our schools, which, I mean, back then it was different. You can disagree against segregation, but to say something, you know, is jungles, that there's fucking racism there. Now, fast forward to the election, he's at this community pool, and he goes on this really weird rant about his name. I forget. I think he called himself Razor. He was like, yeah, back in the day, there was this guy, Razor. It felt like he was trying to do the whole gator thing from the other guys. But he was like, yeah, the kids come up and rub their hands over the skin of Razor and his blonde hair. They loved it. And then he's like, let me get this right. He says, poor kids, and this is in a poor area, bad community. He says, poor kids can be just as smart as white kids. This was in 2016, this dumb fucking old racist bastard. He said this in front of everybody, with fucking reporters around, right? If you're liberal, you probably never heard this before. He fucking said it. If you say something like that, your political career is fucking over. Over. Okay? So, Biden says all this shit. My liberal friends don't even hear this. That should also be startling. to you as American public, civilians. The fact that two people fucking running to lead your country, somebody says something like that, and half the country doesn't even fucking get it. That's fucking scary. He said other dumb shit too, but I can't remember. That was the worst of it. But now here we are. He just got found guilty of 37 counts. I knew that was going to happen, obviously. We'd been fishing for something to get him. Oh my God. We been fishing. I just did what these people did yesterday, and it boggled my mind. No, but I do that. I talk about our society as we, so I am an outlier. Damn, I wish I had more to drink. Once I get going, I don't want to stop. Okay, so here we are currently. He just got found guilty of 37 counts. I think they're all felonies. I don't know. We did the same thing that we did Clinton. Went after Clinton for a real estate thing. Found out that he was banging Monica Lewinsky. So we go after Trump for, I think, insurrection. Insurrection. I'm getting an erection on the brain. Insurrection. I don't know. But I believe we initially went after him for that, and then ultimately we're getting him for the transfer of funds from, campaign to thing for the hush money for Stormy Daniels. Now, we already knew that he reached a settlement with Stormy Daniels, which is still amazing for me for a dude like Trump to go through an actual fucking presidency and only get one person come forward is impressive. I figured there would be more. But either way, we already knew about Stormy Daniels. The reason why we are going, the government, the United States of America, the reason why we're going after him now, and he's getting these felony counts is because, it was moved illegally and da-da-da-da-da. So, ultimately, when it comes to sentencing, so now he was found guilty by 12 jurors, and again, I don't know, I'm not I'm not Alan Dershowitz. I'm just some fucking dude in white trash Arizona. But I believe, boom, it's a jury, 12 people. Now its sentencing goes to the judge. And typically, not a lot of people get jail time from what he's sentenced with because of who Trump. If I don't know, maybe 20% of people get jail time. Okay, say they throw the fucking book at him and go over what is normal. The whole reason why a lot of people don't get jail time is because this crime is victimless. The only victim is the government, because they didn't get their taxes or report or whatever, money-wise. There's no real victim out of this. Stormy got her money, oh my God, I can see all the comments. Everybody going, we are the victim. He's a liar. But victimless crime. If they do prison, it would be, house arrest because he's a former president, he's Secret Service, involved, But the fucked up thing is he can still run. It doesn't matter. He could have 500 felonies, he can still run for president. So it doesn't really matter. Okay? But either way, sentencing from the judge, this judge can go, you know what, $1 million fine, 6-month probation. Boom. I think if they go anything over extreme, anything more than that, then he's got an appeal opportunity. And I don't know if that appeal would be for the sentencing or the conviction. Probably sentencing. Yes. Lenient sentence. But either way, it pushes him past the election. And his fucking followers are not going to go away. So I just talked for 50 minutes, and I doubt any liberal believers are going to still be listening. But here's something to think about. And going backwards, for him to lose so closely to Biden in that first election and him get a full fucking term of anti-propaganda against him, like, people don't realize, like, every fucking all-star game that was out there, it was like, get out and vote, get out and vote. You know, like that. Normally that shit ramps up 3 or 4 months before an election. Like, that shit was constant when Trump it was president. Like, it was like, make a change. Only you can make a change. So for him to come that close and have such an onslaught of negative feedback, I was surprised. This one, I don't know, man. Like, but this is what brings me back to my big train of thought is I was talking with my mom and stepdad, who are normally conservative. My mom's flighty. She once believed in fucking Scientology. I remember one night we were drinking beers and she wanted to talk to me about aliens coming down and shit. I was like, what is this? This is Scientology. So, but she's flighty and will go along with anything, right? And they came down for a visit and I brought up Trump. And right away they were both like, oh, fuck that guy, I don't want to be. She's like, fuck that guy, I don't want to be even here, my stepdad says. So it's like, whoa, I thought you guys both voted for him. And they were like, we're sick of fucking hearing it, sick of hearing about it, da 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 da. So I don't need another cigarette, by the way, because I'm going to play hockey. But this is the big point that I've been trying to make, is liberals. This shit ain't gonna go away. Okay? I thought Trump would have gave it up after the last election, but he didn't. He came back for more. He's a glutton for punishment, and he's fucking stubborn, and he hates being proved wrong. If he loses this election, he's gonna run in 4 years. What do you think the fucking news is gonna do? It's gonna be more fucking Trump. Get it out of the way. Let him get elected. He can't run again. It's 2 terms. Okay? Let him do good, another 4 years of good, and then we'll go back to the old way of our president fucking getting a bunch of money for fucking speaking arrangements and fucking their family taking all this money and everybody fucking making money over wars, We don't have to fucking worry about him again. 4 more years. Rip the fucking Band-Aid off. Food for thought. Fuck. We did it. We talked a little bit about current. Did I do a prediction? I don't think we need to. I don't know what's going to happen. But, yep, that doesn't matter either. Did I say that he's the only president to lose money? Yes, I did. Here's a story that pissed me off. We'll close on this, because this is what it's like dealing with a liberal. And mind you, Obama, I was middle of the road. Okay? My super good buddy, musician out in Cali, Ryan, straight up wouldn't fucking talk to me anymore when he found out that I talked to Trump, when I voted for Trump. And it still hurts. Dude fucking doesn't give a shit about politics at all. Like, all of a sudden you're gonna fucking ruin a 20-year friendship over me voting for a guy? how the fuck are we? I'm on all these dating apps, and chicks are like, Trump supporters, swipe left, please. Like, here's the thing, liberals, if you honestly believe every single person that voted for Trump is a fucking racist, that's half the fucking country, people. Like, he did so much shit before that nobody talks about. One of the cool Trump stories that I heard about was when he was, and this could be made up, but it was during a market crash, and he's walking along with one of his earlier wives, and she said something about how a homeless person was, so nasty, da 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 da, and he stopped and he was like, you know what? That dude has more money than us right now. She's like, what? He's like, we're fucking negative money. There was one story about him putting up the American Idol girl, Jennifer Hudson. She got fucked over by her family, people taking advantage of her, and he put her up in a suite at the Trump Hotel. There's like so many documented stories about him being a humanitarian and being an advocate for minority rights. I don't see him being the next coming of Hitler. He already served 4 years. You would have seen it. What did he do? He made fun of a reporter. What else did he do that was so evil? Find it. Make me a believer. But, so I'm arguing with my little brother, and we start down the Hunter Biden thing. Why the fuck are we giving the Ukraine so much aid? This dude never set foot in the Ukraine and doesn't know shit about energy. Why the fuck is he getting $1 million to sit on a board of an energy company in a country he's never been to? And the Biden administration gave him the country a bunch of money for energy. And then Trump becomes president, says, hey, you sons of bitches in the Ukraine, you better look at this fucking kid and this guy. And we go after that guy for whistleblowing. There needs to be some accountability. And God, I hope the public, this reminds me of Idiocracy, when Not Sure is like, hey fuckers, I'm the only one trying to help you. And God bless this arrogant fucking narcissist prick, but he's trying to do it again. So, but I get into it with my little brother about Hunter Biden. And I go, dude, we always get into an argument. So it started very innocently. I was like, hey man, I don't want it to get heated, but I was wondering from your standpoint, because I know you did get kind of into a tizzy when Trump's daughter tweeted something about a shampoo being good, and it turned out that the shampoo was listed on some Trump website or something like that. You were like, it's endorsing private blah, blah, blah. I know that you got... What is your response when people bring up Hunter Biden and the whole, Ukraine energy thing? And he was like, I don't care. And I was like, okay, well. And then it got heated to the point where I was like, dude, this fucking Hunter Biden had sex with his brother's wife after the brother died. And he's like banging strippers and, doing what, like all that, to each their own. But like, there's a fucking level of debauchery and sickness that you're like, at some point you go, this is a fucking horrible person. Oh, cheeky. Okay, I'll wrap it up. The alarm just went off. Chico. So I'm getting into it with my little brother, and he's like, he did something to get out of his service too. Oh, I think he did cocaine to get out of his service. I don't know. But either way, my little brother's like, oh, it's more cool points for me, for, in my book. I'm like, motherfucker. And that's the thing with talking is you can't. I've found that recently again. I was middle of the road before this whole shitstorm started, but I've just found that the left is just non. They won't listen to things. They're non. I don't care if fucking Trump moved some money around and it didn't get claimed by the government. I don't give a shit. We already knew he fucking gave Stormy Daniels the settlement money. We already know he's fucking cheating on his wives. He's fucking Steve Harvey. He's the same as Steve Harvey. But yet Steve Harvey is fucking beloved. Don't take marital advice from Steve fucking Harvey. I think that's it. Boom. We're going to go play some hockey. If you made it through this, God bless you. What did I miss? Comment, bitches. Peace out.